Hi, hello, and welcome everyone to the third episode of the Blade podcast. I am joined here with my guest, Superintendent of the school system, Scotty Hattaway. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me today.
So today we're going to talk about ESPLOST and what ESPLOST is and its importance to the school system here in Swainsboro. So let me get started with it. What is ESPLOST?
ESPLOST is what we call an educational special local option sales tax, and that tax is a tax that the local school district has to call for in the form of a referendum to approve or extend a 1% sales tax to help fund school system improvements.
Okay, and this isn't anything new. This is something we've had before, right?
This sales tax has been in place since 1997 in Emmanuel County, and we have had 5 ESPLOST prior to this ESPLOST vote. So the first ESPLOST was passed in 1997, and prior to that, there's really only 2 options that were available to fund capital projects and a lot of the system's expenses, and those options were both on the back of our property owners in the form of property taxes. One option was that the local board could ask voters to approve issuing general obligation bonds, and secondly, the board had the option of using ad valorem taxes levied for maintenance and operations to fund capital improvements. Now, the legislature approved in 1996 a constitutional amendment to allow school systems to start to introduce SPLOSTs through referendums that the public could vote on. So it's actually been in effect in our county since 1997, and we've had 5 SPLOSTs prior to this SPLOST vote.
Okay, so our school systems have been benefiting from this for like 24 years or so far.
Absolutely, and we've never had an ESPLOST not passed in Emmanuel County, so that shows great support from our community and confidence in our school system to be good stewards of those funds, and we're grateful for that and hopeful that that support will continue.
Yeah, so what exactly is the money being used for?
The money's being used to improve facilities, several different things: improve security, safety measures, purchase equipment, purchase buses, purchase uniforms for our bands, purchase textbooks, instructional materials. We could also purchase land or property, upgrade technology, purchase supplies, any resources that we need for our students. But anything that we plan on purchasing with ESPLOST $6 upon its passage has to be listed in that referendum. So if it's in the referendum, we could utilize ESPLOST funds to purchase those items.
I gotcha. And with all those things that it helps out for, what are some of the big projects that we've seen in our school systems that has been benefited from ESPLOST?
We've had several capital outlay projects that were either completely funded or very much supported with ESPLOST funds. The schools on Tiger Trail Hill in Swainsboro, those were funded through ESPLOST funds, plus advanced funding and bonds. We've constructed partially Twin City Elementary School with ESPLOST dollars in ESPLOST 1. ESPLOST 2, we constructed the Swainsboro High School baseball, softball complex, did a lot of flooring, air conditioning, technology work in Swainsboro High and Swainsboro Middle in ESPLOST 2. Also added on to Twin City Elementary with ESPLOST 2, constructed an ECI gym with ESPLOST 2, a weight room at ECI with ESPLOST 2 monies. ESPLOST 3 monies helped us update our transportation fleet with purchasing buses. We also completed the construction of Swainsboro High School gymnasium on ESPLOST $3. Did a lot of system-wide safety and security work with ESPLOST $3, purchased music, athletic equipment, instructional administrative technology equipment. Moving on to ESPLOST 4, we constructed security entrances at all of our school locations. We developed the Early Learning Center on the Swainsboro Primary School campus with ESPLOST 4 monies. And we had a lot of athletic upgrades at Swainsboro High School through the ESPLOST 4 monies, the weight room, the track, locker rooms. ESPLOST $5. We had a lot of purchases in regards to textbooks, safety and security. We did some capital improvements, bought more buses. We also made some modifications and renovations to the Manual County Institute campus with ESPLOST $5. So essentially, you can see we would not have been able to carry out any or most of these improvements or renovations in our system without ESPLOST monies to help us in those ventures.
Yeah, that ESPLOST is doing like a lot for the schools, like
without a doubt.
Right. Now, does any of the ESPLOST funds go to personnel, or is that more just the buildings in itself?
ESPLOST, it cannot be used. It's against Georgia law to use ESPLOST proceeds to pay for personnel. So no, it cannot be utilized for that manner. It can be utilized for a plethora of things, but paying for and supporting your personnel budget is not one of them.
Now, if ESPLOST continues through the vote in November, what are y'all planning on using the money for this coming up years?
We will continue to do capital improvements, continue to purchase buses, continue to update our facilities with roof repairs, roof replacements, air conditioning system replacements, air conditioning control system replacements. We will probably add some things to some of our schools as far as facilities go that they don't have currently. There's just a plethora of things that are listed in that referendum that we can do with these ESPLOST 6 monies. But if it's not listed in the referendum, then we can't do it with those monies. So we made sure with this referendum that we listed just about anything and everything that we could think of that ESPLOST monies could support.
Right. Now, I've heard talks about tennis courts coming to Swainsboro High School. Now, would that happen through ESPLOST? Is that what's on?
That is part of the ESPLOST 5 monies. A lot of citizens have talked to me about the tennis courts at Swainsboro High,
right.
And we're in the process now of finalizing plans to send those out to bid to get tennis courts constructed and put on Swainsboro High School campus. If you're riding down Highway 1 South and you go by Swainsboro High, you'll see a sign that we have. We've already located where we're going to put those. So very grateful for ESPLOST monies to help us do that, along with all of the other things that may come up as needs in the future.
Yeah, it seems that if this isn't passed, then the school systems would struggle a lot because like you said, we haven't not had ESPLOST in over 24 years or so.
Right.
So I don't know what would happen if it wasn't passed. It would be a tremendous struggle for us because most of the money that would be needed for these improvements that we've discussed would have to come from our general fund or from reimbursement for the Georgia Department of Education. And we don't get full reimbursement when we apply for capital projects through the Georgia Department of Education. We get a fraction of that. And it would also raise the millage rate. In order to make up for that lost revenue, then the millage rate would have to go up to approximately 18.2 over that 5-year period to make up for the loss of the $20 million of revenue that we anticipate to generate through this ESPLOST 6 fund. I gotcha. Now, when will the voters be able to cast their ballot for ESPLOST?
Well, early voting has been open. It started last week, October the 12th. We have some early voting left. The week of October the 25th through the 29th is still open to early vote. And tomorrow, October the 23rd, the election site will be open from 9 to 5 for early voting. But the actual referendum poll date is November the 2nd, Tuesday, November the 2nd.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming out here and educating all of us on what ESPLOST is. And if you guys at home watching this and you live in Emmanuel County in Swainsboro, honestly, make sure to vote for ESPLOST, because if you have kids or siblings or anyone in the school systems for that matter, they would benefit greatly from this, and the entire community would too. So when you go and cast your vote on November the 2nd, make sure to vote ESPLOST. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.